truck. I'm doing right now.
At least you could do it without blizzard.
Yeah.
Motorcycles just keep coming and coming. They're small, maybe I can squeeze past them.
You'd win the fight. Go, go, go.
Now.
Oh, we'll get closer, because you can get closer, and then...
Run with the motorcycle. Go well.
Then honk. Go ahead and honk. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, cool. What was that?
Wow. Real fun is motorcycle. Get that one on tape.
Motorcycle.
Where's this person? Oh, he's waiting.
Hey, I'm surrounded. You're passing me on the right. Turn everywhere.
You find a better place? I mean, there's nothing to see around here on a motorcycle on this highway. Jesse, keep your hands to yourself.
What do you want? Sorry.
Okay, each kid has to bring 2 to 3 pieces of wood up to the campsite.
I already have something to bring in.
What do you had to bring in?
Books, custard.
We can put those things in the bag that someone's bringing in.
I have to bring in my woolly mammoth.
You'll have to find a way to bring your woolly mammoth and 2 pieces of wood.
I have to bring my
Your favorite stone?
Let me put it in my bag. I have a bag.
No, you can carry
No.
it.
Give me the rock and I will put it in
Of course,
my
if you
bag.
don't want to eat, you don't have to bring any wood.
Everyone wants
I want these, but I'm not bringing these. Not even the boss. Well, they're going in.
Okay, Lily won't narrate, so I'm gonna have to narrate for us. We are beginning our trek to Little Devil's Tower here in Custer State Park, and our trail begins at the base of Sylvan Lake, a very
Big lake.
nice big lake. We don't know exactly where we're going, what it looks like, but we're gonna walk there. You ready to go, Lily? Yep, okay. We'll see you guys in a little while. Up there, you think that? I don't think that's it yet.
How yeah.
This is the path we're going down. And up here, very pretty forest.
Find some mountain lion. Grr.
Ooh, look up there.
So climb.
You can climb. Do you see anything neato around here?
That thing.
What thing?
That.
That thing? Cool.
Okay, now I need something to drink. Person's very thirsty.
Okay,
Where is it?
hold on.
It's a good hike.
I thought I saw an animal over in that cave.
What cave?
Where are we, Lily?
In the middle of a forest.
What is the fork? We must decide whether we are going.
We have a coin.
Strangers we met on the path.
Forest people.
They were using our draft.
Right.
So we are gonna go to Devil's Tower, which is this way.
With all the
It's shorter and
peacocks.
more strenuous. Should be fun, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, off we go. She doesn't breathe oxygen. She's a plant. So, is this strenuous?
Maybe not going down, but going up.
Yep. Oh, we're near the top.
Hopefully
We are
there's no
panting.
mountains.
Are you panting, Lily?
Yes.
This is the definition of a strenuous hike. You probably can't tell how steep that is, but
Very steep.
we've been doing this for a while now. There's some beautiful rock formations that are lining our path. Somewhere up there is Devil's Tower, Little Devil's Tower. We just asked the guy down there if he'd seen any mountain lions, and he said, well, not since Sunday. So it's encouraging. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna make our last leg up there, then have a snack. Lily and I just did a little climbing up some rocks, get a better view, and a better view it is. Check that out. Now over there through the trees, I don't know if you can see them there, but you can start seeing the needle spires, I believe. Through the trees over there, where I'm pointing the camera.
Don't really look like that.
And you can see way out in the distance.
Amazing.
Okay, the last part of our trail, I think, is to go through here.
Yeah. Almost the last part. That's so stony.
It's a very rocky terrain down here.
Yes, it
So I
is.
probably shouldn't be doing this while I'm not really watching where I'm stepping.
It's not that bad. I'm stepping on the big rocks.
See my shadow? Okay, the trail is marked with these nice little triangles with the arrows on which way to go. So apparently we have to go around this way. Oh, look up.
Maybe that's not one.
That might be.
I'm gonna name you Mr. Rock.
Okay, we are on our final last leg to get up to Devil's Tower. Right up there, I believe, is where we need to be. If beautiful rock formation. This is where we've been going down. To give you an idea here, I'm pointing straight out. That's how steep it is. So whoop. We're both relatively winded. It's good exercise. There's our friends down there. And we are ready to go on up. You ready, Lily?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Just to give you an idea how
Yeah.
steep this is.
This is very steep. Very, very steep. I think I should go over here. Probably not as steep. It's not like steps. Is it still on?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Oh. It's recording us. I'll keep it there.
Give people a sense of the strenuous nature of this climb.
Now go backward.
Yeah, there we are. Okay, I'll see you guys up once we're there. Okay, I lied. This is too cool. Our final trek up here is between these two rocks up these kind of steps.
Yeah, there.
There goes Lily. Okay, now I really won't talk to you again until we get there. Nice view?
Yeah.
We have finally made it. We just climbed up
Mount Rushmore.
these rocks over here.
Feels like we climbed
And
a mountain.
here is the view
Beautiful.
that we have. Check that out. The trees way down there. Then there's the
Big long
spires over there.
That's the cathedral spires.
These rocks go way up there. We're between two really huge rocks.
Little Devil's Tower.
And I don't think we're going to venture down there any further. This is where we stop.
You can go over there and eat.
Here's a little more of a view, and you can even see the mountains.
What
Way out in
mountains?
the path, out there. You see the prairies and the hills. And there are those beautiful spires.
I don't see any mountains.
Well, hills.
Yeah. Lots of black hills.
And there's our big rocks.
My big rock.
Even down there you can see some more. Okay, Lily, you ready for a snack?
Oh yeah.
Is this the hardest thing you've ever done?
Oh, go up.
We are done, but no.
No, we're not done.
More climbing to be had.
Yes. I
So
can't
there you can
resist
see
climbing.
those rock formations over there. You see the mountains? That's where we come from.
That smells pretty.
Yep, okay, let me put this camera back and we'll... I thought I'd seen everything.
Nope.
We climbed a little higher. Check out this panoramic view. And then check over here. Those are the needle spires.
Wonderful as a tiny peak.
Then way off you can see
More black.
in the distance the giant rock formations. Wow, this is amazing.
Yes, it is.
You can see the rolling hills back there. And we're actually not that high off the ground over here.
Wow. Check it out over here.
Hey,
There's
don't
like
go
a-
any further, Lily.
There's a seat right here. It's not a cliff.
No?
Should get a picture from up here.
Okay, we are going to snack here. This is where we're going to have our lunch. This now is the ultimate view that we're going to get. And this is where it gets good. Check that out.
Nobody up here but us.
Yep, complete. Actually, I can hear motorcycles.
So can I.
What would the Black Hills be without motorcycles?
They would be non-motorcycle land. Hey, there's our friends.
Oh yeah.
I wish we could go a bit higher.
There's our friends coming up.
Because you can go all the way up there and see the view.
Yeah, see, they're marking the safer ways to travel with these blue triangles, so we could probably go further, but
We can't. Why?
you want to? Let's eat. Are you enjoying your snack? You kind of, what?
Quite good.
It's a nice picnic area?
Yeah.
Okay. We have found a little clearing here. This is our last stop before we
Head down?
head on down. And
I wish I could see Rapid City. That'd be funny. Some nice grass up here.
it's actually grassy down here. So there's a little view
Hey, look.
to take in.
There's a church up there.
Oh wow, you're right.
That's cool. Tomorrow we're going up there.
Interesting. That is very cool. I can't believe you saw that.
I want to see Rapid City. Wasn't foggy. Maybe. Very nice up here. Wow.
Okay, we are now officially in the very top of Little Devil's Tower.
More like mountain.
So we now have, let me get my footings firm here. We have a 360 panorama of,
Except right there. No, I can't get up there.
no, we're not gonna go up there.
Then you can see it.
So yeah, this is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And up there, I believe, is the top, Lily, that is the top of Harney Peak. Harney Peak, and that apparently is a little church or something up there. So yeah, we are way on top now.
I don't think I'm on.
No, it might be hard to get there. We might be late.
Yeah. Leave at 5 in the morning.
And this is the big rock formation that we're on top of. And there's Lily. Wave to the world. We saw a helicopter flying over here.
Yeah, look at eye level.
We are now on our way down after having a nice snack and a beautiful view. We met another older couple from Pennsylvania coming up here. They named this Heart Attack Hill. They asked what the next one was. I said Second Heart Attack Hill. So we should be back pretty soon, probably 45 minutes to get back to the camp. Took us a little over an hour to get to the top. So this concludes our adventure up to Little Devil's Rock. Little Devil's Tower?
Yeah.
Little Devil's Tower. Seemed kind of big devil to me, but there you have it. Say bye-bye. We are going to examine our cave one more time, this time with a little flashlight on it. Hopefully the Blair Witch doesn't live in here.
What's that?
Yeah, it's just a movie. Okay, if you hear growling, Lily, run away.
Huh?
Oh, it's cold in there. Creepy. Oh, what was that? Is that a monster?
No, that was my butt.
There was what?
My butt. Yeah.
Here, Lily, shine that flashlight in there a little bit more.
Wait, I think that's a tunnel to keep on going. Like in that hole.
I know, it kind of looks like it, doesn't it?
You gonna crawl in there?
No.
Do these video lessons running with one cart.
Where are we going, kids?
In there. Go. Yeah.
We're digging for Farkle?
We're digging for Farco.
Alright, ready?
I'm digging for Farkle too. Woohoo!
Actually, we're gonna need to start the tour out here. Sorry, guys. You can have a seat on the benches, or else you can go stand in the shade. How's everybody
Can I
doing this
sit somewhere
afternoon?
in the shade?
Good deal. My name's Tanner, in case any of you guys didn't hear.
I'm
and I've lived in
Jesse.
the Black Hills my whole life, so if you have any questions at all about the Black Hills, go ahead and feel free to ask. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of information about the mines around here before we go in this mine. There are two types of mining done in the Black Hills: placer mining and hard rock mining. Placer mining is where you get all your gold out of the creek or stream. And there's 3 different types of hard rock mines. The first one I'm going to talk about is an open pit mine. That's where they come in, they hack off the top of a hill, then they form a huge crater in the ground. And that's what world famous Homestake Gold Mine is. And you've been through the Lead Deadwood area? Did you notice you could see that hole all the way from Deadwood even though it's in Lead? That's because it's the 2nd largest mine in the Northern Hemisphere. It was the longest operating gold mine in history, and at one point in time, 10% of the whole world's gold was from Homestake. And that was in 2001 when they shut down. And on average, for every 7 tons of rock that they pulled out of that mine, they got 1 ounce of gold. And that's considered pretty good. They say right now, with the way that gold's going, if you can find a gram of gold per ton of rock, that's profitable. Another type of hard rock mine is a shaft mine. It's one that drops straight down. You look over this way, the highest building on that hill, which is just barely peering over those trees, is the top of the Holy Terror Shaft mine. That mine goes straight down 1,200 feet, and when it was operating, that was one of the richest mines in the entire world. Where Homestake was pulling out 7 tons of rock and getting 1 ounce of gold, these guys would pull out a ton of rock, they get 7 ounces of gold. In some cases, they pull out a ton of rock and they get 27 ounces of gold. So that mine was very pure, almost unheard of purity. But unfortunately, in 1940, there were a couple deaths in that mine. And the families of the miners who died sued the company. They wanted $3 million apiece. And $3 million in 1940 was a lot more money than it is now. The mine didn't have it. So they gave the families the money they had and were forced to shut down after that. And then a number of years later, when gold spiked to $700 and some an ounce, they tried to reopen that mine. But they went back to it, and there's 600 feet of standing water in there. They tried pumping it out. For 2 weeks, they have 4 of the world's best pumps pumping, but it only went down 1 foot. They shut the pumps off, and overnight it filled back up the foot. Because really, it's all just moving groundwater. At the base of this hill, you have this creek running, and when the mine was operating, they were keeping the sides of the shaft shored up so groundwater wouldn't force the side in. And when they left, one of the sides caved in. So for now, there's millions of dollars worth of gold still in that hill, no way to get it out. But I imagine with the way that gold's going, they'll figure out a way. And the last type of hard rock mine we have is a drifter mine. That's what Big Thunder is. And you call it a drifter mine because you find your gold vein and then you drift wherever it went. In that gold vein, you'll find 3 indicator minerals. The main one being quartz, this white rock you see laying around everywhere. Because if gold's going to be in hard rock, it's going to be in that quartz 99% of the time. Another indicator mineral in the vein will be fool's gold, or iron pyrite. Around here, the fool's gold runs right with the real gold. And graphite, just like pencil lead. Any questions?
What's full gold?
Fool's gold? It's stuff that kind of looks like gold, but it really isn't. It's 7 times lighter than real gold, and it'll break. Real gold will just bend.
So when they follow a vein, they're really following a quartz vein to find the gold? Or do you find
you
follow
find the
a
gold
gold
in the vein at first and follow it back. Because whenever they got here 100 years ago, 150 years ago, there were literally veins showing up out of the ground. And most of those have been had, but there still are veins around that were just covered up by dirt.
I thought we were going in there. Stuff all around here.
Ouch, that's why you have a helmet on?
Alright, we have everybody. Alright, first off, this is a really safe mine. Just to give you an idea of how safe, this is Keystone's bomb shelter during the Cold War. And it still serves Keystone's tornado shelter to this day, so no need to worry, we're in a very safe place. And this mine started in 1892 by 2 German immigrants by the name of Engel and Krupp. And those are the only guys to ever work in this mine. So, just 2 guys dug all this.
Wow.
And it wasn't their day job, because during the day they worked at another mine called the Bismarck. They were the explosive technicians over there. And they made $20 a day in that mine in 1892. Doesn't sound like much money now, but if you convert that to today's standards, that'd be like making around $1,000 a day right now. Because having a penny then is like having $2 now. So they were very wealthy men already. And you know what, they didn't do this all for the money. It was maybe a side project or a little hobby. Because in Keystone in the 1890s, there wasn't much to do. Sweaty gland right here in front of me, and all the collar will go back to training. That's what you'll see. Had a drill, but it also had another name, the Widowmaker. And it has this name because there's silica in the rocks. When the miner got to drilling, he'd kick up a lot of dust and he'd breathe that silica in. And when you breathe silica in, you get miner's lung. Kind of like the black lung, except for the black lung is with coal, and silica is more of a sand substance. Back then, before good medical treatment, that was almost the spot where this vein was originally being mined. That mine was finding 4 to 5 foot wide chunks of it. You see 2 of your indicator minerals here. One of them's a gray rock, that'd be your graphite, just like pencil lead, and the other stuff's the white stuff, the quartz, what you find the gold in. So the gold pretty much did what that quartz does. It dwindled down into nothing. They processed it down, and after everything was said and done, 1 ounce of gold. Back then, $20. Each of them received $10 for 15 years of work. That was half their daily wage. Back then, all these other miners around here in Keystone, they thought it was pretty funny. Because before this mine was named Big Thunder, Engel and Krupp named the mine Big Beautiful Mine of Gold. And they had all these plans for all this gold they were supposed to have. They were even walking around Keystone bragging they were going to have all the gold in town. So they were pretty much the laughing stock of the whole neighborhood. And then so came Big Thunder. Big Thunder. You know, when they worked that long, that hard, and they only found 1 ounce of gold, they didn't plan on going any further. They didn't plan on doing any of that. They had wasted 15 years of their blood, sweat, and tears on this place. They were through with mining it. They were done. But at the same time, they were also kind of sentimental about this place. They'd come in here and hang out in their off time and not mine it. Some of you might think it's chilly in here now. During our South Dakota winters, when it gets to be 50 below out there and it stays 52 degrees in here, that's 102 degrees difference in warmth. And yes, they're Germans. They like beer. They did keep their beer in here. And while they were hanging out, they liked to make a lot of noise. They really did anything and everything in their power to let those guys out there know they're still working hard here getting that gold. If you look at this thing called a mucking sheet, it's kind of bent up. That's because they like to set black powder charges underneath this thing. They like to watch it fly. They'd set black powder charges along the wall, even underneath massive rocks in the path. And the way that the entrance of Big Thunder Gold Mine is and that whole valley is outside, you can hear everything from Big Thunder out there. So it wasn't Engel and Krupp that named the mine Big Thunder. It was the townsfolk for how much noise those two made in here not finding any gold. But what?
Please stop.
Kinda, actually, it was pretty low in the beginning, though. It's the lowest point of the whole mine.
Where would they get a big piece of metal like that?
Actually, to be completely honest with you, I wouldn't be able to answer that exactly, but my guess would be the blacksmith.
You what? Oh yeah? Yeah.
I know what those things are.
Yep. Except for this is a side dump. They had a front dump. And there's one of those outside when you walk out. When they got here, before this is a big room, all it was a tunnel leading to the left, right to this point. And they found it. There's the Columbian ore vein. Although, that part of the vein doesn't contain any gold. Maybe if they would have went further back, they would have found gold. But they couldn't. That spike that you see right there is a 5-foot-long spike shot every 3 feet from the other side to let these guys know they're about to be claim jumping. Because just 4 feet on the other side of that wall is a Columbian mine. And claim jumping in those days is not taken lightly. I mean, there's quite a few different things they would do with claim jumpers, none of which are good. So if you notice, the vein curves to the right. They followed it to the right, and they met up with the red wall. That's solid iron ore. And although there could be gold behind that wall, the tools they were using wouldn't go through that. They were using soft iron for the drilling. So their bits would bend when they try to make holes for blasts. And even though that looks like a lot of iron ore, you know, maybe they could have mined that even if there's not gold behind it, just for the iron. Even this day and age, that iron ore is only worth about a penny for every 10 pounds because you have to take it all the way to Pittsburgh before it can be processed. So if you notice, the vein shoots up. And they followed it up. 60 feet. They removed thousands of pounds of rock and Old Engel and Krupp are now in their early 70s. They reached it. A part of the Columbian vein that at one time contained some good gold. Before they pulled it off there, of course. They processed it down, and after everything was said and done, 9 ounces of gold. Add that to your 1 ounce back there and you have 10 ounces of gold in 35 years. Back then, $200. Each of them received $100 for 35 years worth of work. And even this day and age, with gold going at $1,000 an ounce, that would still only be $10,000 split between the two of them for 35 years worth of work right now. Just not a very good deal. And you know, I really wish I could say, they came across this room and it was completely filled with gold. But I mean, be lying to you. And this really is your typical miner story for the South Dakota Gold Rush, because during the gold rush, there were thousands of gold mines operating here in the Black Hills. And really only a few of them hit it big, like Homestake and Holy Terror. That's what gave Engel and Krupp the incentive to come out here and try for themselves. They were looking for that get-rich-quick scheme. It didn't happen very quick at all, and they didn't get rich. So I always let this be a lesson to you younger ones. Go to college.
Just go.
Don't dig for gold.
Did we maintain the same depth the whole time?
No, I'll get to that in a second.
All right.
3 months after this was discovered, Krupps died at the age of 73, which is pretty old for back then. Seen as, and this isn't its original location. Original is on the hill over here. You can really tell where it's at by looking at this picture of Keystone from 1894. To the right of my finger is Big Thunder Gold Mine. And here's where the mill originally sat. You can really tell how that sound echoes out of Big Thunder Gold Mine, and everybody can hear it. And everything in here is in its position for working order. Reason being is the mill really used gravity to its advantage. To sum it all up, you'd start with your rock at the top of the mill. By the bottom, you'd have your gold. First part of this process is bell crusher. There'd be football-sized pieces of rock falling on the top of there, and a swinging ball of iron on the inside that broke that rock up. And it broke it up small enough so that it could fit through those bars in the grizzly up there, all the way to your right. And really, the grizzly's just a sorter, because anything that couldn't fit through those bars would go down the ramp and back to the bell crusher so that it could. After that, everything would go to the jaw crusher. And it has that name because it works just like your mouth. It pretty much eats the rocks, turns them into pebbles. After that, everything would go to the stamp mill. And that's called a 5-cent stamp mill because it has 5 of those things called dies. And each one of those dies weighs 1,000 pounds and will come down every second, just like pistons on an engine, pulverizing the rocks into a dust. And it's been said that if Hill City shut off their stamp mills, they could hear ours 15 miles away here in Keystone. I guess if you worked in a mill back then, you didn't protect your ears, you could end up going deaf in a few months. So after that, everything would be sand and gold. You put all the sand and gold in the copper table. And this isn't a real copper table because of the price of copper, but it's also possible it could be contaminated. Has anyone here ever heard of the term gold fever? Well, most people today think it's, because you're really in the search for gold. I better get down to that creek and get mine. It's getting up there to $1,000 an ounce. Oh, no. Back then it meant you had a temperature of 108 degrees, and you were quite literally going insane. The reason for this is they put all that sand and gold on the copper table, then they put mercury on there, because mercury instantly bonds with gold and amalgamates it. Well, mercury is highly toxic. It gets in your bloodstream and it can't pass through the tiny blood vessels in your brain. Then your brain can't cool itself, and you go crazy. So after that, they put all the sand, the gold, and the mercury on the welfare table, which is really just one big glorified gold pan. It uses your classic panning principle that gold is 7 to 9 times heavier than anything found in the hills. And mercury is pretty close to that. So, vibrate back and forth. That heavy gold mercury falls out and assembled up. Then so much less than gold mercury washed out that way. Then take your gold mercury out of the welfare table and put it in what you call a crucible over there. Set the thermostat to 1600 degrees Fahrenheit where mercury boils, but gold just melts, and boil off all that mercury. There'd be your gold. And that was the worst way to get gold, was from boiling off that mercury. And yeah, it is pretty sad that a lot of these miners around here back then got that gold fever. But just to think, they actually thought that you got some sort of fever just from the gold. They really had no clue it was the mercury doing that to them. Trial and error. Ore bucket. Actually, that top one with all the metal around it's the one that held the ore. It's much stronger. The bottom one was the ore mines elevator. If you can picture 3 guys, each of them with one leg inside that bucket, that's how that worked. And man, it was pretty dangerous. You figure, you get a couple guys my size in there and a 300-pounder in there, that thing's gonna be out of balance. You're gonna be swinging around, hitting the insides of that shaft mine. And people did get hurt on a regular basis with that one. But you know what they said back then in Keystone? They said if you're mining and 1 to 2 miners aren't getting hurt a day, you aren't really mining. The winch pulley, that's what pulled the elevator up and down, and it also said where that elevator is at in the shaft. And the next exhibit is the most highly overlooked part of mining. No one ever thinks of this one. Can anybody guess what this card's for?
Hot dogs.
No.
Gold.
You got it. It's your good old-fashioned job. Well, you got to do the business somehow. And there's one reason why this thing's painted bright red and one reason only. You had to notice it. Back then around here in Keystone, their standard shifts were 12 to 14 hours. And they were lucky if this baby came around 2-3 times a day, so they'd better notice it. They wouldn't allow the ore bucket to be sent down to bring someone up to go to the bathroom. That wasn't efficient. And the last guy to use this thing, he's the poor guy who had to clean it out. Poor guy. Wile E. Coyote on Looney Tunes pushing this thing down. What this is, it's actually a generator. When you push down this handle, it'll generate electric current to go through these two knobs to your black powder or dynamite. But old Wile E. Coyote must be quite a bit stronger than me. If you notice, he pushes this thing down like it's nothing. It takes 120 pounds of pressure to generate a good charge. Been working out. Anybody want to push this down? I always wanted to push one down ever since I was a little boy. You might not get a chance for the rest of your life. They don't make those anymore. It does have the 19th century child safety feature on it.
Come on, Autumn.
Hey, what's the matter? Can you get that done?
You
You get paid.
Yeah. You don't weigh 120 pounds, Lily.
Anybody else?
Always thought that.
Remember, but they want to tell you to pick a picture. One that just hold and push one down and the picture would explode.
Yeah, those ones are a little bit easier. They're not the real deal. And if you remember me saying that boiled the mercury down a little bit here, also I said it was a murder. One was the base of the fall and never found it, never caught the guy. And I thought I'd take it down to the police station and have some tests because I couldn't just keep it. That wouldn't be right, you know. And they ran all sorts of tests and they found out. It's just a cap gun from the 1980s. It's so extremely heavy. And if you want you always want these ridges to be facing away because your gold is rock. The old prospectors didn't have these ridges in their pan. It's because the most important part of your pan isn't those ridges. It's the little crease. In panner's terms, that's a pocket. You're always trying to get your gold to go right here because usually when it gets there, it stays caught there. That's a little gold trap. So, you want to fill your pan up with water so it's completely covering those rocks. Then shake your pan side to side with the front tip down, making that pocket the lowest possible point where that heavy gold's going to go when you shake the pan. You know how you see those movies where someone's looking for gold and they're going like this? It's not until the very last step and it doesn't even look like that. That's a huge misconception. Right now we're just trying to get the gold to go to the pocket. Best way to do that is shake your pan side to side. Alright, within a matter of seconds of me shaking my pan like that, it went there. I know because I've done thousands of these. Another way to tell, your bigger rocks will surface. You're ready for the next step, and it's the hardest part in panning. It's losing that rock. It's not hard because it's difficult. It's hard because you're scared. Don't be. Put your pan at a 70-degree angle or more. Fearlessly. Dip your pan in the water and let about half those rocks roll out. Bring it back and rework your gold to the pocket again. And that's it. Long story short, it's just a shake and a dip, a shake and a dip. 2 steps. You're either working your gold to the front lower crease of your pan or losing the light material off the top until you get down to about a teaspoon. So I'm going to prepare my gold for that dip by getting it to the front lower crease and losing my stuff off the top. And when you're dipping it like this, you can see your gold in the pocket. Let's see if I can do it here. It'll hang out right there. See how it doesn't move? Even though it's setting on top of the soil, it still doesn't move. That piece right there. Alright, down to that last step, that last little teaspoon. Alright, now this is the part that you see in the movies, and that guy's doing that swirly thing. Doesn't look a thing like that. I'm going to work my gold down to the pocket one last time. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to carry this pile to the bottom of my pan using the water. The last thing to leave that pile is going to be the heavy gold. So I'm going to wash everything down. Everything that weighs so much less than gold is now falling. And that gold's going to be at the very bottom of that pile. That's where I put it. Just one piece. You'll find more than that out there when you pan. But that's where you get the classic saying, if it all pans out. And each one of these flakes are worth between 25 cents and $1 right now, seeing as how gold's going for about $1,000 an ounce. And you can cover an entire basketball with a BB of gold. You can cover an entire basketball court with an ounce of gold, the size of the tip of my thumb. And that's why it's so valuable. You know, you can do a lot with it, computer chips and all that. But those little glass bottles that you guys got for panning, you want to fill those up completely full of water, because you just touch one of these flakes with a dry finger. When you touch the water in your bottle, it sinks to the bottom of it really fast. Alright, after we put our helmets back, we want to go back through a different door than we came out. And that's the door to the left of the helmet room, the outside door. And then I'll meet my panners on the deck by the Coke and Pepsi machine. I'll show you how to get that gold. Let's go out there and do all that.
I'll drive. I'm driving.
Put it back, Jesse.
The whole time we're here. You know why? You know why?
Why?
See if in the next when that other people visit to see good working at night. And you people. It's actually easier. Come on.
She's talking to you.
She's trying to get a picture. Alright.
Hey, not too close now.
Bobby! They won't even let me! Bobby, take your glasses off your head.